Isn't it wild that as children we can learn a false belief about ourselves? And even though it's false, it still influences how we perceive ourselves. And we carry that with us throughout, oftentimes, our entire lives. Decades. When you hit 20, when you hit 30, when you hit 40, 50, 60, 70, throughout the entire timeline. But let's look at how it started. Let's look at the childhood, the boundarylessness of the dynamic between the child and whoever they learned that from. Because we aren't born to believe that we are unworthy. We aren't born to believe that we are worthless pieces of shit. It just doesn't work that way. We learn it from somebody who lacks healthy boundaries and is unhealthy and projects this idea of self, adult self, onto child. And this is a whole matter of just intergenerational stuff, passed down, passed down, passed down. It's fascinating because whenever I think about somebody being unworthy or feeling unworthy, one, I understand that they got that from somebody else. And two, I don't see the somebody else as unworthy either. I see it for what it is. I see it as just a passing down of a false belief system over generations and generations. The child that learned that they were unworthy, were they actually unworthy? No, of course not. They learned that belief from the guardian that raised them, that lacked healthy boundaries. Was the guardian that raised them actually unworthy? No. The guardian learned from the person that raised them, and so on and so forth. That's just the way that it works. Or you want to look at it this way, it's just the way that it works. The belief stems from the transmission from somebody else. Somebody else taught you that you were unworthy simply because they lacked healthy boundaries and they projected self onto other. They projected self onto child. Is the child actually unworthy? No. No. And unfortunately, the child is being raised by a parent or guardian, whoever it is, that lacks healthy boundaries, lacks necessary emotional health, is not going to get the space to develop with healthy boundaries into a healthy ego state that would have individuation and differentiation, and then be attracted to other healthy objects because it got the healthy development. No, it's not going to get any of that. And this is why we're here to talk about the reality of people, many people, that as children get locked inside of false beliefs, false narratives, and then they just accept it at face value. They accept it for what it is. Oh, as they say, they are just unworthy. That's how they perceive themselves. As they perceive themselves, that influences how they operate. How they operate is perceived by other people. They will attract people that reinforce their belief of unworthiness. If you believe that you're worthy, and everyone is, it's just the reality of it. The belief of unworth is just a belief passed down generationally. It's fucked up, but that's the way that it is. If you believe that you're worthy, not only are you not going to be attracted to people that believe that they're unworthy, you're also not going to attract people that believe that they're unworthy, because people that believe that they're unworthy are attracted to other people that believe that they're unworthy. Like attracts like. That's just the way that it is. If you have one person that is boundaryless, meaning lacking healthy boundaries, usually having either like close to no boundaries at all, like nothing at all, or permeability within boundaries, that person is going to attract people that also have a similar dynamic. And they're going to be attracted to, because like attracts like. People that lack healthy boundaries, people that take advantage of other people, they're attracted to people that lack healthy boundaries because they can take advantage of them. But let's look closer at this dynamic because this needs to be made very well understood. The reason why I made this video was to showcase how somebody who could be projected on by a parent or guardian that lacks healthy boundaries and does not have a healthy perception of themselves, and as I said before, they see themselves as unworthy, they see themselves as a worthless piece of shit, yeah, they're going to pass that nasty shit down onto the child. A child is way too underdeveloped to be able to look at the situation and be like, oh wow, yeah, parent or guardian, you lack healthy boundaries and you're projecting your shit onto me. I'm not unworthy. You just lack healthy boundaries, and that's why you're projecting your stuff onto me, because it's too painful for you to sit with your own stuff and work through it and actually recognize that neither are you unworthy. You just got that from someone else also, who got that from someone else also, who got that from someone else also. Just passing down. Now, the issue here is recognizing that if you have a false belief that you are unworthy, if you don't do anything about that, it's not going to change. What would it look like to do anything about that at all? Well, to recognize, one, that you weren't born with that. You're not born unworthy. That was a learned belief from somebody else that, with a lack of healthy boundaries, projected their shit of unworthiness, their belief, even though that's in and of itself false as well, they projected their belief of unworthiness onto you. And that's how we got here. Maybe you believe that you are unworthy. Are you aware that it is actually just a belief, but also simultaneously that belief is influencing not only your perception of yourself, but also influencing how you approach yourself and how you operate in this world? And that in and of itself is also being perceived by other people. You can see when somebody does not see themselves as worthy. They do things with themselves and other people that are unhealthy. They spell it out plainly for you. They don't see themselves clearly, because if they did, they wouldn't have this fucking smoke and mirrors of a lens of unworth. No, they would see worth and they would take off all the clothes. They would, when I say all the clothes I'm referring to is they would undress from the costume of unworth. That's all that it is. But you could spend your entire life stuck inside of this belief, this narrative of unworth, and it will drive your life accordingly. It will influence you to put yourself out there in ways of unworthiness. It will influence you to not only do that, but also attract people that will further reinforce that you are unworthy. If you believe that you are unworthy, you're going to seek further reinforcements that you are unworthy. You're not going to seek things that align with worth because you don't see that within yourself. I believe that life mirrors to us how we perceive ourselves. And whether you want to call it energy or whatever it is, it really doesn't matter. Because simply, if we see ourselves a certain way, we're going to operate that way. If we operate that way, we're going to attract based on that. I mean, in this universe, everything is energy. Everything is attracting, repelling, all of those things. Unworthiness, attraction of further unworthiness, coming together of further unworthiness, further reinforcing further unworthiness. Oh, I must be unworthy because I feel that way. Okay, well, why do you feel that way? Oh, I didn't realize that I feel that way because my childhood. It was so painful for me to look at my childhood because my childhood was fucked up, and I learned beliefs that I'm now realizing are inaccurate. And this goes for more than just unworthiness. This goes for, you may believe that you are incapable. You may believe that it really doesn't matter what it is. Just take any belief that is either inaccurate or unhealthy or both and recognize that you don't have to continue with that belief. It doesn't matter what the belief is. Whether it's, I am unworthy, okay, yeah, I believe that I'm unworthy, so I'm going to attract a bunch of people that reinforce my belief of unworthiness. I believe that I am incapable of achieving things for XYZ reason. Okay, you're going to live according to that. You're going to operate according to that. So first, it's the perception of self as that, and then it is the behavior as the result of the perception of self as that, and it is the attraction of the external based on that. That's the way that it is. But just understanding that because you were raised the way that you were, children, we are far too underdeveloped to be able to understand that somebody else's shit has nothing to do with us. This is the reason why children are so easily traumatized. And it's sad too, because like you have a really good chance to install a really healthy program in a child. But when you lack healthy boundaries and you project your stuff onto your child, then they just learn that false narrative. And it's also a false narrative for you. If you're a parent watching this and you've found that, oh crap, I have projected my shit onto my child. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. It's just not healthy. One, it's not healthy because you lack healthy boundaries. And if you have shit, which we all do, so I shouldn't say if you have shit. We all have shit, period. Take your shit to a licensed professional. Don't fuck your child with it. Or I should say, don't fuck your child up with it. Because it happens all the time. Any belief of unworthiness comes from, intergenerational fucked upness. Oh, it didn't stop with the great-grandfather, so the grandfather got it. Oh, it didn't stop with the grandfather, so the father got it. Oh, it didn't stop with the father, so the son got it. Or the daughter, whatever, Great-grandmother, grandmother, mother, daughter. It's just a belief of intergenerational shit, that's all. So if I haven't made it clear already, you might believe, I'll end off with this, you might believe that you are unworthy because of what you learned in childhood as a result of unfortunate boundarylessness. But you're not actually unworthy. You just learned that, and then because of that, you got locked inside of this false narrative, and because like attracts like, you have been attracted to and attracted reinforcements, people, to further reinforce your belief of unworthiness. It's really that simple. But you need to see it for what it is to understand, oh, wait a second, I'm not oh, wait a second, I'm not unworthy. No, you're not unworthy. You just have this belief that you are unworthy. But you got that belief from somebody else that lacked healthy boundaries and lacked healthy means of dealing with their shit with a licensed professional. That's it. So you can unlock yourself from this belief and see yourself differently and not even rely on anybody else to be a reinforcement that you are worthy. You're worthy because you are worthy. You get to determine that. That is a matter of self, not other. When you actually believe that consistently over and over again, you will evolve and you will transform how you see yourself. And your life will change in ways that are absolutely wild.